welcome everyone. This is the information session on April 18th for the Philosophers Camp. And what I keep hearing over and over again is, okay, I know you're doing something in the Adirondacks. What are you doing? So we've started a series of information sessions so that the mystery can be unveiled, not the mystique, but the mystery, so that people have a great understanding of the opportunities available for you. If you're watching this recording, there's a good chance you've been drawn to us for a very good reason. So my name is Christine Powers. I'm the founder of Philosophers Camp. I'm also the owner and custodian, I should say, of 100 mountain acres in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. Joining me today, I have the great privilege and pleasure of Dorothy Martin-Neville, Dr. Dorothy Martin-Neville, who is joining the Philosophers Camp faculty and will be both a participant and a co-facilitator in 2 different camps this year. And that's because Dorothy is so, well, I'll let her tell you why. And then I'd like to introduce Ben Gioia, who is the CEO and founder of Influence with a Heart. And he's based in San Francisco, and he is a transformationist, as is Dorothy. We're all about transformation. And Ben was a participant last fall in the very first pilot program of Philosophers Camp. So he's one of the very special group that unknowingly at the time agreed to anchor this energy on the planet, and is around again this year to be part of the camp experience. He's considered a founding philosopher, and he will be assisting at one of the camps. And also he'll be co-facilitating a different kind of retreat experience later in the summer with me. So that is who you're with today. Dorothy, I didn't really describe what you do. Would you like to do that and then share with everyone what it is that drew you to Philosophers Camp?
My goodness, yeah. That is what I do. Is I work with primarily women in leadership, although not solely women in leadership, to really support them having far greater impact on their authentic power and really expand their energetic footprint so that they can make a vast impact of transformation on the planet. You know, we have to own more and more of who we are, be willing to become larger and larger in an energetic footprint in order to have the greatest impact for good on the planet. So that's what I do. And in addition, I am here. Welcome, Lois. And so in addition, attending this camp, we're never done in transformation. The more personal transformation we can do, the more we remember who we truly are. And for me, that is a gift we give ourselves. And so to do that, to go this first time in August and really experience the camp, experience the mountain, experience more depth of the message that you give, Christine, gives me that much more I can offer those who come in September. So you and I, together with the message we bring in after decades of our own transformational process, that is a joy I'm more than excited to jump into.
Dorothy, I would say that you and I have such a great synergy, and we laugh so much together, which is part of the secret sauce of Philosophers Camp. Someone asked that yesterday on Facebook. Do you laugh? Is it also serious? Yes, it's very serious, and we laugh. It's the dance of the profane and the sacred. So I know that we've been talking already about the container of our camp, September 26th to 30th. And each of the 3 camps will have a very distinct flavor this year because of the different facilitation teams. So, and that's the one we're focusing on today. You want to share a little bit about where we're going with that?
Well, it's, as you said, you've set it up, mind, body, spirit. This is the spiritual realm, which again, it's not isolated. If you're going to truly connect to your own spiritual purpose, you've got to connect to your physical body. Because all of that lives in your soul seat, and all that lives in the abdominal area. So it's really supporting them becoming grounded in the mountains, which is exquisite. The power of the mountains and the sea is just enormous. So to get really caught into the physicality of the location and in that groundedness, then be able to fly into spiritual takeoff what a gift. What a gift both. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben, let me bring you in to the conversation. Could you share with us your experience last year and what's top of mind for you, and what do you think is most essential for people on the call now and later to understand about Philosophers Camp?
Yeah, thanks. Gosh, I wish we had the 4-hour version of this call, so I could tell it all, and I would barely scratch the surface. I describe Philosophers Camp. Christine, you've heard me say this. Dorothy, you haven't heard me say this yet, but we all have deeply transformative experiences in our lives. Especially the more we choose to, to walk the path and be our best selves. And Philosophers Camp was the second most impactful chosen experience of my life. Really knocked my socks off in such a big way. I knew that there was going to be deep transformation for me. I had no idea what I was in for. And it was, so much fun, so much laughter. I felt so held, so cared for, both by the land and by, Christine and Larry and, everybody who was facilitating, Barbara Whitman. It was really a magical experience. I, went to the camp really at the point of, after being in business for 9 years as an entrepreneur, I was really, really burnt out and really at the point of, chucking all of it. And I was like, maybe I can just drive a bus in San Francisco and give people a lot of love as they get on the bus, and that'll be my mission. Or maybe I'll, join the Peace Corps. Like, these were the things that were, fairly seriously floating around my mind. And, went to Philosophers Camp, and there was so much healing and so much reconnection to myself, to my purpose, and to that land, which, holy cannolis, like I had never understood. And I've been to some amazing places around the world. I had never understood the, profound ability of the landscape to be so healing and so transformative to anyone, myself specifically in this example. Holy cannolis. So, what's standing out for me at this point is I'm so excited to get back to the mountain, in the roles that I'm, doing as an assistant and as a co-facilitator. And, if there's a couple more places that I can plug in and it works for my schedule, like I'm trying to do that as well.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, we've been talking with Ben since he's going to come to the East Coast from San Francisco, that if he's willing to just pitch a tent, he can stay all summer and help out, periodically. So not that we're a commune, but come to the land. Yeah. When we talk about being immersed in nature, what did that look like for you as a participant, and how did you find that? Because typical questions I get are, people who might not be outdoorsy, or they're a little bit afraid, and, am I going to get dirty? Am I going to be cold? What's going to happen to me? Yeah,
thank you. So it is certainly, what's the word? Unrefined land in a lot of Philosophers Camp, balanced or harmonized with this amazing glamping experience, right? So our home on the land, our tents, the kitchen, the outdoor kitchen, the shower, like everything was, it was really the best of both worlds. Like I could walk, 100 feet down the road, maybe 250 feet down the road, and be in, full force nature. And then I could walk back and sit next to the fire, put my feet up, have a drink and watch the sunset, warm and snuggly. So it was really, a beautiful balance of both of those things. And yeah, you can get dirty, and if you haven't, packed your bag for the hike that day, yes, you can get cold. But Christine and Larry and everybody who was supporting us during that camp really did such a great job of keeping us safe, across the board. Making sure we were we were buddied up, that we had the right gear. Not only was it, hey, bring this this kind of gear, which we all did, but, the additional gear that you all gave us, to make sure that, on the very off chance, something wacky happened, we were prepared. And, I think it's like it's like the umbrella theory, right? You bring the umbrella, it's not going to rain. It's very much, that kind of experience. And, God, I want more of my time, camping to be more like my Philosophers Camp experience. It was great to have, what we called the Gray House, a place to meet in the morning and have breakfast and sit around a fire and be warm as the sun was really, coming up to its fullest. Yeah, so it was really, really the best of both worlds, and you could step in and step out as you needed. I mean, heck, like, heaters in the tents. Like you kind of can't beat that.
Yeah, so
you're not sleeping on a floor on the ground. You're sleeping in a bed in the tent with a heater and a light. This is really camping, not like anything I've experienced in camping.
Yeah, but it's also, and Dorothy, thank you for saying that. But it's also not sterilized, right? So it has all of this beautiful comfort and hospitality, held in this space of absolute, rugged, unrestricted land.
Right.
So really, really, I keep using the word harmony. Like Christine, you really, did such magic by creating that oasis in that, incredible landscape.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's nothing like this out there. It's not a hotel. It's not camping. It's not glamping. It's safe, but it is rugged and pristine. So we have 100 acres, and 2 sides of it are backed up to Forever Wild State Park that are dense and deep. And so it really has a primitive, primordial feel on the edges. We are on a dirt road. We're the 3rd property from the end of electricity. So we're right literally on the edge of civilization. And what's nice about that is we're 15 minutes from an EMT station, right? And so speaking about the safety component, my business partner and spouse, who is the camp concierge, the one that keeps you all super comfortable, also is a New York State licensed wilderness guide. So this is a guy who lives in the woods, knows the woods, and he knows how to keep us safe. And what Ben was alluding to is, yes, we have an orientation. Everyone gets a safety kit, a first aid kit, a whistle, and we go through and talk about limits. What are your limits? And we have created on the land trails that are well marked from easy to easier. And there's nothing incredibly strenuous at all. You can take your time and go slow. And it's really kind of that slowness and the lack of needing to achieve or complete or just be in the space. There's lots of downtime. We strive for 50-50. So Ben, how did you find the balance of content versus quiet time and reflection time and creative time?
Really, really good. So, I tend to, jump in and try to get the most out of, especially when I go to an event, right? Like participate and go to all the sessions and all those kind of things. And, I did that, and then was also able to, put my feet up and sit by the fire a lot, and just like watch the sky change and listen to the birds, and go take a walk when I wanted to, and, go get a snack. It was perfect. There are very few things that I will use the P word for. And it really, really was, because, the work, quote unquote work that we were doing, with the shares, with the, the facilitated experiences that, you and Barbara were bringing across for us and, inspiring us to do, the verbal shares, the writing, all of that kind of stuff. There was so much time and space to process that as well, right? It wasn't just like, do it, and then on to the next thing. you know, because so much of the goodness of those experiences really comes when you step back, right, and just allow it to blossom and cultivate.
I have never gone camping and have never had the desire to go camping. I hiked Mount Washington once when I was young, and I said, I'm never doing this again. We stayed in the, you know, like the it was like a dormitory at the bottom at Pinkham Notch. And I said, this is not for me, but I do love kind of walking through the woods during the day sometimes. I used to do that a lot in one organization that I worked with. We would go for lunch, and all the leadership team, except for the owner, would go through the woods, you know, like almost every day at lunchtime, and we would talk about work, and we'd get more accomplished doing that, you know, going through the woods, than we did at any meetings that we had in the organization. So, you know, and I found that invigorating, and I found that fun.
How would she do? Because one thing I would say, Lois, is we do have a range of accommodations, and we do have some brick and mortar. And there are times where, in fact, one participant in particular said, I better be in a house because I don't like bugs. So the moment she said that to me, I put her in a tent. Right? So you might want to put your hand down now. Because part of this is to stretch you, right? So part of it is bringing you to that edge of comfort and going beyond, but not, you know. Well, Ben, I'll pitch it to you. How would Lois do?
Yeah, a San Francisco guy. Yeah.
Right. I think you would do great. And you know, obviously, I'm biased because I had an amazing experience, and I'm going back a lot. But you know, even in the tent, even if you're banished to a tent, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty much a bed with a heater as well, right? So I mean, there's so much, like the comfort and the what's the word? You know, the attention to detail is so sublime in that whole space.
Yeah.
You know, so even the parts where, you know, you do the hiking, you get a little dirty because maybe there's a little bit of mud. Yeah. You know, it's not like you're going to be in that state for 5 days straight, right. You know, sleeping on the ground, you know, none of that kind of stuff, that it, you know, you have that opportunity to step away from that, you know, land and ground and you know, kind of pat yourself on the back for, hey, we just did this today, or hey, I just had this experience today. Yeah, really a lot of good stuff. I you know, certainly encourage it for you.
We have the CGs. It looks like our culinary goddesses catering company is coming back. We can accommodate, yeah, they were so amazing. We can accommodate all dietary issues, from keto to gluten-free to vegan. We are meticulous. Ben expressed to me that he loves fresh squeezed juices, so we had them imported from Saratoga Springs because I wanted Ben to have what Ben wanted, because that's the level to balance the rusticness. The impeccably cared for aspect is so important to our team. So the food is top notch, locally sourced, organic as much as possible. Just a very loving culinary team that takes care of us from breakfast. Breakfast is in the gray house. We always have a crackling fire going. It's usually misty in September. It's beautiful. And then lunch is either as a group or on the trail. So a couple days we send you out. And dinner every night is a celebration. It's just a family style, beautifully laid out, harvest cornucopia table. Just so much laughter and joy and conversation. So that's what the food looks like. Yeah, so in the tent, you have a heater. You also have a bouquet of flowers and a little lamp and a luggage rack and luxury linens and a rug. So you're not suffering in your tent if you get banished to your tent. Let's see. Now, this year we have something new and special. We are bringing in personal masseuses so that everyone included in your package will get a 60-minute personal massage to help you with that rejuvenation piece. And we're so excited. We're coming up with a new feature, the Redneck Hot Tub. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to have... We're gonna have an outdoor, one-person, amazing jacuzzi tucked away in the woods somewhere, and so more to come on that. But that's new this year. We're always innovating and doing fun things.
This is just so fun when I look at who you were. Lois is a singer and a dancer, all of this as well, and here you are, coming from where you came from.
Yeah,
coming from Broadway, coming from this other world of glamour, and here you are now running this organization.
Lois, that's cool. I'm an operatic soprano.
that was the other thing that intrigued me, was your background.
Yeah.
Dorothy very well and love her to death, and she has made me grow in exponentially like you would not believe. But when I heard about your background, I was really intrigued, because I said, if she can go from here to here, this might be something that might be beneficial to me.
So I have goosebumps. Now I have goosebumps all over my body. We got to sing from the mountaintop.
And the fact is that this gift of the context is really to hold a container for the absolute transformational process that takes place within. And that truly is about that spiritual, personal, evolutionary transformation that takes place within this container that you have created along with spirit to bring people in and stop. And Ben, one of the things you spoke about that I thought was so significant was that quiet time, that free time, as she calls it, is truly the integration time. And so many things I've gone to, it's on the way home on the airplane that you begin to stop and integrate what just took place at a conference or whatever you just attended. Built in here is that integration time. Built in here is that ability to let the profound cellularly spread and fill your body so that it isn't just touching your heart or your soul. It literally spreads out through the DNA and impacts, because you've got the time to allow that transformation to take place within the context of the mountains. And our desire to really bring people to deeper levels within themselves, our desire to, in recognizing, as we have after decades of this transformational work, that the deeper in you go, the further out you expand. The irony of transformational work, that the further and further you go in, the greater and greater your impact and your ability to transform yourself and all those you meet, as well as we change the planet for good,
That's beautifully stated, and it speaks to the incredible thoughtfulness that is behind the seeming casualness.
Right.
Yeah. Everything is very meticulously thought through, so that the experiences, I don't need to add to what Dorothy said because it was perfect, but each facilitation team is impeccable about the process and the holding container and the guidance and the support, so that when you leave this healing vortex, you are fully rejuvenated to go back to the front lines of humanity and make your mission and impact even bigger in the world. So, and then come back for more.
As Ben is doing.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts, questions?
Yeah, I know most of you that do live with the land, and I know Dorothy does this. Everybody gets up at the crack of, before dawn. And I am a total night person. I rather sit and watch the sun set.
Ben, you want to speak to that?
Yes, no worries at all. Yeah. Yeah, I got plenty of sleep. It was really, I'm a morning person, and I was so excited that I felt like every day of the camp that I was sleeping in a little bit. And it wasn't sleeping till noon, so we still got had a beautiful morning and a great jump on the day. It was just really, I'm going to use the word harmony again. Really, really, really harmonious. Like I felt like I got sleep. I felt like I, got the sunset and the stars, and yeah, got a beautiful morning as well.
I'm all set. You answered everything that was like hanging in the back of my head, saying you don't want to do this because of this and this and this. All those questions, and I did.
Look at that approach. She starts off with, "You don't want to do this because," so let's go listen.
Yes. No, I'm serious. We have said no to people because it's a very the energetic container is impeccable, and not everyone is a good fit for this experience for a variety of reasons. So,
and with our personalities,
right?
Yeah, our power combined with our personalities.
Right.
Yeah.
So I hope to see you on the mountain as well, Lois. Thank you so much for coming today.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Bye bye.